Right now at 10, unsheltered residents say what they would like to see for overnight options.
And La Crosse's new airport director gets a warm welcome on his first day.
Plus, learning new outdoor skills. A new grant is providing outdoor opportunities for the area's youth.
Watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 10. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. The Vernon County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help in a burglary investigation. Officials are looking the persons responsible for breaking into a residence in the town of Liberty along Old Highway 56 Road. On June 8th, reportedly, a large amount of cash was stolen. If you have any information, contact the Vernon County Sheriff's Office at the number on your screen. You could be eligible for a reward of up to $3,000.
Inattentive driving sent one boy to the hospital after a UTV crashed Sunday night. That's according to the Trempealeau County Sheriff's Office. Per a release, two juveniles were on a UTV on Thompson Cooley Road when it ran off the road into a ditch and down a steep embankment. The UTV hit a tree before turning onto its side. Both occupants were boys under the age of 18. The driver was taken by ambulance to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. The passenger had only minor injuries and was released to his parents.
A man who brought guns to Wisconsin state capitol has pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor. Joshua Plesnick is accused of coming to the Capitol in October while armed with a handgun. He was demanding to see Governor Tony Evers. He was arrested, posted bail, and then returned to the building that night, this time with a rifle and baton hidden in his backpack. He was arrested again and charged with carrying a firearm in a public building. Online records show Plesnick pleaded guilty to that charge in May. He was sentenced to 30 days in the Dane County Jail with work release privileges.
La Crosse's Common Council tonight asking for overnight options for the city's unsheltered population. The council is directing city staff to find short-term solutions for where unsheltered people can stay overnight. Over the past year, the city has banned camping at numerous city-owned spaces. Some homeless people are living near the marsh, which some council members say is dangerous because the area is prone to flooding. Tonight, Common Council failed to pass a resolution to implement temporary overnight shelters by the end of the week. So instead, the city is giving its homeless service coordinator 3 weeks to come up with different temporary shelter options and then lay out the costs to make those possible.
The unsheltered population is also speaking out. They say they want more resources to help them with their day-to-day hygiene and well-being. News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall is learning more about what they're hoping for. Jeremy.
Emily, the unsheltered population says those resources include more outreach and a place where they could do laundry and shower overnight. Mason Beatty has been experiencing homelessness on and off for 10 years. He's one of many unsheltered residents camping by the marsh. He would like to see the warming center opened more frequently.
People out here, going with long time without showers, laundry. If there's some kind of resources that like I know they got the warming center, they open that up for a day or two for people to go in and do laundry and shower and stuff, but it just needs to be more frequent.
Beatty hopes to get a job soon, but with very few overnight options for homeless people to shower, he says working can be challenging.
You can't get a job or go to work comfortably without having a place to shower and having a place, you know what I'm saying? It's just, and then the community be looking at you different.
Stephen Brown has been homeless since 2019. Just like Beatty, he also lives by the marsh. He would like to see more mental health programs.
I have issues with that, and there's a lot of people down there that do, and a lot of society don't understand that. And what they would have to do is start educating people down here more, that people that do that want to improve.
And Brown is also looking for work. He says he would like to see people train them how to find employment. Ken and Emily.
Thank you, Jeremy.
An Eau Claire candidate for Congress says she can reflect blue-collar Wisconsin values. Rebecca Cook is running a second time for Wisconsin's 3rd Congressional District. In the 2022 primary, she won 11 of 19 counties but finished 5,000 votes behind Brad Pfaff. Last election cycle, she was a political newcomer, a small business owner who grew up on an Eau Claire dairy farm. This cycle, she still got that same working-class background, but now with more resources to spread what she believes is a relatable message.
I'm running a campaign that really is focused on my lived experiences, and we saw that kind of personal narrative really connect with voters across the district, and that they know that I've experienced a lot of the same hardship they have, and I've walked a mile in their shoes, and I'm going to really advocate for them in Congress. So I think it's that working class message that I think cuts across party lines.
Cook, State Representative Katrina Shankland, and Eric Wilson are all running for the Democratic nomination this August.
Well, we had some storms make their way through the region this evening, but it all concluded with a beautiful rainbow.
It was very lovely.
Yeah, we had rain basically clipped kind of La Crosse, like we thought. We were just right on the edge. If you went south of town, you really didn't see much in the way of precipitation, but north, different story. And if we look at the last 24 hours for rainfall, this is going to be a little theme we're going to have to keep track of throughout the week, because a lot of areas already picked up 2, maybe 3. I know Rochester over there picked up almost 2 already. So there's a nice swap of precipitation, but it really tapers off to the south end of it. Now for tomorrow morning, we're not seeing the thunderstorms. That has died down and that is done for the night. But temperatures are going to climb, kind of almost climb up overnight with that south wind beginning to pick up. Notice the temperatures, mid-80s, and that south wind beginning to pick up too. Eau Claire, actually, we're going to see those temperatures rise up into the 70s. So it's going to be a muggy start, and the temperatures will quickly climb back up into near 80 by really the noon hour. Overall, precipitation-wise, all that has pushed off to the east, so we're kind of clear for the night. There's yet warm front that begins to lift north, and that's going to be the focus of more showers and thunderstorms up there. But eventually, we're going to track another cold front that's well up to the north that'll be pushing our way, but it's going to take some time, and we're not going to see much of that overall throughout the night. But we do have an alert day condition for tomorrow, because we do have some heat indexes that'll be in the mid to upper 90s, so it's something we'll track, and we'll also show that we do have thunderstorms and cooler conditions coming for your Wednesday. So definitely stay hydrated tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Greg.
La Crosse Regional Airport welcomed new director Jeffrey Tripp on his first day in the role today. Tripp hails from Arizona with over 28 years of experience in aviation management. His previous positions include manager at Arizona's Prescott Municipal Airport and Muskegon County Airport. He says he prefers smaller cities, which is what drew him to apply to La Crosse Regional Airport. He says his main points of focus will be on the airport's budget and air service. And at the end of the day, being a numbers guy will help him solve these issues.
Loss of air service over the last 5 years in the passenger numbers, what is the impact on the revenues, and then the revenue decrease impacts the operating budget. So I want to get a good handle on the finances of the airport, because that will then help as I work with staff moving forward on our plans for the future.
Tripp is replacing Ian Turner, who served as director of La Crosse Regional for over 4 years.
La Crosse area kids got to experience life as a scout thanks to a new grant funding pop-up day camps. Gateway Area Council hosted the day camp at Camp Decorah today. Kids engaged in activities like archery, fishing, first aid training, and rock climbing. The day camp was funded through a grant by the La Crosse Community Foundation. After multiple Compass Now reports showed 2 in 5 households rated youth activities in the area as poor. Gateway Area Council applied for a grant to bridge that gap, and they were awarded $10,000 to host multiple pop-up day camps, giving those area kids the opportunities local scouts get to experience.
Parents want kids off the screen in the summer. They want their kids making new friends, having new experiences, engaging in new things, which is what Cub Scouting has always been about. But by offering camps like this, we're able to help meet that community need and keep kids busy with productive, fun, exciting activities.
This is the first of 7 day camps offered by Gateway this summer. Kids in 2nd through 6th grades are welcome to sign up. We'll have a link to do so on our digital platforms.
A new mural is coming to downtown La Crosse. Gunderson has commissioned 2 artists to create a mural on a 3rd Street wall. The artists Nao Medino from Kaukauna, Wisconsin, and La Crosse native Chase Gentry. Gentry says the mural will represent the fun side of downtown La Crosse and promote social cohesion. He hopes people will find something new to look at every time they see the mural. The mural should be completed by next week.
Israel temporarily stopped fighting in southern Gaza as part of a tactical pause.
This comes as the war cabinet advising Israel's prime minister has been dissolved.
Forget about scraping and painting, fretting and fixing, and enjoy the beauty and low maintenance of new siding, soffit, fascia, and gutters for your home. Seamless steel siding and vinyl siding in many colors. Enjoy outdoor living with a new deck and railing, with a pergola or patio cover for protection from rain or snow, or get protection from bugs and bad weather with a 3-season porch. Serving your neighbors for over 30 years, superior products, superior installation, at prices lower than most others. Invest wisely. The Board Store Home Improvements prompt free estimates.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. And your Ford dealer is the place to start. With a full lineup of vehicles and available powertrains. Get your ideal combination of power and capability with gas, hybrid, or all electric. But more important than the power you choose is what you choose to do with it.
Now, lease a new Ford Bronco for $369 a month for 36 months, only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
Israel's military paused its fighting for 11 hours along a crucial supply route in southern Gaza today, and it says it plans to do the same thing every day as part of a tactical pause to increase the flow of desperately needed aid.
The move comes as Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu dissolved his influential war cabinet that has been advising him on the war against Hamas. CBS's Chris Livesay reports on these new developments from Tel Aviv.
It was a coalition of rivals meant to sow unity in Israel after the Hamas attacks of October 7th and the conflict that followed in Gaza. Last week, that changed when Benny Gantz, the leading moderate opponent of the prime minister, left the war cabinet over the absence of a day-after plan for Gaza. The war cabinet now dismantled. That leaves Netanyahu only with the hard right as the linchpin of his support. The shakeup comes after Israel announced a tactical pause in the fighting, limited to 7.5 miles of this road in the Rafah area, during daylight hours only, to allow more aid for displaced people like Ibrahim Shaban al-Dadu. There's no aid, medicine, food, or water coming in, and even the sick people can't leave, he tells our CBS News team in Gaza. We're isolated from the world. But if this pause holds, it could at least address some of these overwhelming needs as the offensive continues in Rafah. Israeli forces say they now control 70% of this Hamas stronghold. The UN says 1.3 million people have fled the city since the fighting began. And as the Israeli public grows more impatient, says diplomat and staunch Netanyahu critic Alan Pincus.
Because they think it is 8 months. It's too long. There's no clear victory. There's no decisive victory that can be announced.
Chris Livesay, CBS News, Tel Aviv.
It's early days for that pause, but so far UNICEF says they've seen no more aid than usual entering Gaza. And the humanitarian pier the U.S. built, it's down for repairs again due to rough seas. Officials hope it will be up and running later this week. Well, if you struggle to get your little ones to sleep, you're not alone. A new study shows bedtime anxiety is more common in kids than you might think.
And tomorrow we have some dangerous heat conditions in the afternoon, but then we could see some severe storms potentially for tomorrow evening. The good news is we got cooler conditions coming for your Wednesday. I'll time out the thunderstorms and show you how warm we'll get tomorrow. That all coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
Senator Baldwin says I'm not from Wisconsin. But this was my childhood home. Graduated East High. Became a Badger in '86, where I've had my company for over 20 years.
And this is where we live. It's our family home.
I'm a fourth-generation Wisconsinite. It made me who I am. If Senator Baldwin's not going to be honest with you about where I'm from, what makes you think she'll be honest with you about anything? I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
Have you ever had to move? It's brutal. Why do we have so much stuff? Well, at Chrysler Winona, we're moving, and we're trying to pack light by throwing out some great deals. A lightly used 23 Grand Cherokee L with third row, heated seats, and remote start is just $38,990. Or pre-owned Chrysler Pacifica with heated leather and seating for 7 starting at just $23,990. So come see us before we move at Chrysler Winona, downtown Winona.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you outdoors because we get you. Whether you're headed across town or across the country, we get you tires and batteries, trust and care during our summer tire sale. Right now, buy 3 tires, get 1 free with up to a $100 rebate on select sets of 4 Cooper and Goodyear tires. Plus, rewards members get an extra $25 instant savings on any set of 4. And for all your power needs, Blaine's brand vehicle batteries start at $43.99. Tires and batteries, trust and care at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
At Taco John's, we believe a better Taco Tuesday starts with better tacos. That means using 100% North American beef, cooking shells in-house daily, and a deal that makes you say, how are these only $1.29? Taco Tuesday is every Tuesday at Taco John's.
You want to feel important, to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
We know. We felt that way too.
And that's why we joined the Army National Guard. Take on your legacy.
Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Chevy Truck's advanced camera technology lets you see over, under, through. Up to 8 available cameras and 14 views, so you can focus on the view that really matters. Don't miss a thing. Chevy's got you. Get 1.9% financing on this 2024 Silverado when you finance with GM Financial. Or get $5,750 total value on this Silverado when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Visit HometownChevy.com.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Doctors have a different view on a frequently used diabetes drug.
According to a pair of studies published today, people who take metformin do not appear to have a greater risk of conceiving a child with birth defects. These findings contradict a 2022 study that said men who took metformin 3 months before impregnating a woman had a 40% greater chance of having a child with defects.
A researcher says the increased risk noted in the earlier research could be related to issues caused by diabetes rather than the drug. Metformin has been used to treat blood sugar levels for decades, although people are advised to tell their doctors if pregnancy plans are in the future.
Well, getting your kids to bed at night is a struggle many parents can relate to, and a new study confirms that. The study found 1 in 4 parents say their child has trouble getting to sleep because of anxiety or worry. Over 1/3 of parents reported their child doesn't stay asleep throughout the night and often or occasionally wakes up upset or crying.
Almost half reported their child leaving their bed and moving to the parents' bed some or most nights, while 1 in 3 parents said their child often or occasionally insists they stay in the room until the child falls asleep. Experts recommend sticking to a consistent bedtime routine and limiting media use at night to help with sleep issues.
A new study shows Americans are eating better, but the gains they've made over the past 20 years are very small.
Yeah, researchers studied the diets of 52,000 Americans between 1999 and 2020. They found the number of people who had a poor diet dropped from 49% to 37% during that time. However, the number of adults who consumed an ideal diet, one that features 9 cups a day of fruits and veggies, rose less than 1%.
Researchers say Americans' diets remain dismal. The study's author says he would grade America's diet as a D-, slightly up from an F in previous studies. Well, that's improvement, I guess.
Yeah, still not great.
And summer's the hardest time, too, with the barbecues, the ice cream.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of freedom
track
to just enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we are going to get some fairly significant heat conditions tomorrow. Greg's going to break it all down for us.
Yeah, while the west northwest kind of cools down, in fact, they got freeze and frost warnings and actually snow out there. Actually, my old stomping grounds in Elko, Nevada is supposed to get to 31 degrees tonight. So they're cooling down. We're heating up. So that's what we're going to be. The big story for tomorrow is the heat index in the afternoon. We do have storms arriving Tuesday night. There's a cold front coming through. Could be severe. We'll kind of break that down a little bit. The good news is Wednesday, much cooler, cloudy conditions. Not all day rain, but we'll see on and off showers too. Speaking of the heat index, will probably be about in the mid to upper 80s by 11. In the afternoon, we'll get into the 90s, and this conditions of mid to upper 90s will probably be in the late afternoon to evening hours. It probably won't be until about 8 or 9 at night that we'll start seeing some relief with the showers and thunderstorms approaching. So it's going to be a very warm, hot evening too. But speaking of the activity overnight, that has pushed up to the north. Temperatures overnight actually will probably start coming up a few degrees with that south wind also increasing. So it's going to be a warm start and muggy start to your Tuesday with temperatures generally in the low to mid 70s, and the temperatures will continue to rise into the mid 80s by 10 a.m., and then by the time we get to the afternoon hours, we'll be once again in the 90s. The cold front will start producing showers and thunderstorms pretty much to the afternoon west of Minneapolis, and eventually it'll start drifting towards the area, but it's going to take probably until after the start, at least the start of the evening commute, to see some activity approach Eau Claire. Probably not till about 8 or 9 that we'll see some of this approach La Crosse. It may start initially as strong or severe, but it's probably going to be weakening. I think the threat we'll have to keep an eye on is gusty winds as an outflow, or maybe it starts surging to the east throughout the nighttime. As we get throughout the night, it's just generally going to be showers and thunderstorms continuing. There's that severe threat. It's really generally level 2 to the west of the area, but it does creep into our area a little bit, and the main threat, as I mentioned, is damaging winds, but we also have the threat for flooding. We'll have to keep an eye on that given how much rainfall we've already had. Any training over certain areas could lead to that. This front will actually sag all the way down to the south of the state once we get to Wednesday morning. So with that north flow and cloud cover, we're going to keep those temperatures generally into the 70s. So we might start off in the low 70s. We're not going to climb much more in the mid to upper 70s. And we'll see on and off showers with probably more activity approaching as we get closer to Wednesday afternoon and evening as the front kind of sits right to our south. So the wet conditions aren't going to end, but we are going to cool off. And still we have the flash flood watch up to the north because of the constant rain they've had. They're going to continue to see it, and we'll see if that actually expands later on. But here's the rainfall throughout the next 7 days. This pattern is going to be wet through the weekend, so there's areas, including tomorrow, could pick up 3 to 4 inches pretty much just west of Eau Claire all the way down to Des Moines. So that's why we're going to keep an eye on the Mississippi River. Once again, it did come down, but it's likely going to come back up a little bit given all the rainfall that we're going to see. But for tonight, should be dry, but it's definitely going to be muggy conditions. Temperatures barely getting in the 70s or even rising. Tomorrow, 90s with definitely heat indices up into the upper 90s in the afternoon. The showers and thunderstorms come Tuesday. Cooler Wednesday, but the wet conditions continue pretty much through Saturday and Sunday with quite a bit of rainfall potential there too. So the good news, it's 1 day of heat. The bad news, the wet conditions do continue.
Yeah, I'm sweating already for tomorrow. Thank you, Greg. Coming up next in sports, the Brewers out west beginning a 7-game road trip, plus Legion baseball's in full swing. Some of the state champion Blue Golds already back in action. Rob's up next.
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, with 6 locations of fun.
At Bygoff & Rohde, we know reputation is important, and it can affect your case's outcome. If you want your case to be taken seriously, you need lawyers who are taken seriously. Bygoff & Rohde, serious injuries need serious lawyers.
Every day we battle illegal drugs coming into our community.
And we know the attacks on Tammy Baldwin are not true.
Tammy's working with law enforcement to stop the flow of fentanyl.
She brought Democrats and Republicans together
to crack down on drugs coming from China and Mexico,
giving us more tools to fight drug smugglers.
And Tammy voted 32 times to strengthen the border.
Don't believe the attacks.
It's Tammy Baldwin I trust to keep Wisconsin safe.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Everyone deserves the fastest, most reliable internet speeds, regardless of where they live. That's why Spectrum offers the fastest speeds in more neighborhoods than any other provider.
Switch to Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month. Call 1-833-376-4999.
With Spectrum Internet, you can power all of your devices to enjoy streaming, video chatting, and gaming. I rely on Spectrum Internet. You should too. Call now.
Did you know that when you buy from Maury's, you get Maury's Promise? Maury's will always offer you our best price first, upfront, pure and simple. And our product specialists are commission-free, so there's no haggling necessary. Our lifetime powertrain warranty on new vehicles covers your engine and transmission nationwide for life. Also, our powertrain warranty on Maury's certified pre-owned vehicles covers you for 10 years, 100,000 miles, and much, much more. Maury's, moving life forward.
Is your personal injury lawyer trying to sell you a settlement that you don't think is fair? You need a lawyer who won't settle your case just to move on to the next one. Get the full compensation you deserve. Get Bygoff & Rohde.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports.
The Wisconsin high school baseball season wrapped up last week. A couple of our area squads came home with some hardware, including Aquinas. So when it comes to the Blue Gold, some of the boys already back in action for Legion Ball. Let's hit the diamond in lacrosse. The A's hosting West Salem for 2. Lacrosse took game 1 9-2. They were picking up right where they left off in the nightcap. Tanner Peterson is going to get this one a fall. An errant throw allows a run to come in and score. That makes it 3-0 A's. But how about West Salem's Brendan Gelfie flashing the leather at third? What a pick. Throw right on the money as well. Great play there by Gelfie. But the A's playing some good D as well. Top 5, this ball's hammered to right. But Landon Teachout's there to haul it in. And then with the bases loaded, Lacrosse gets out of it thanks to Parks Tobin. Pitches a shutout in game 2. A's sweep past West Salem as they take this one 3-0, the final. Elsewhere in Legion action, Sparta post 100 taking on Lacrosse post 52. Lacrosse already up 6-1 in the third when Carson Nelson gets the bats going with a single. A couple batters later, it's Derek Pangier adding to it. 1 runs in. Here comes Nelson. That makes it 8-1 Lacrosse. Lucas Eilertson then does his job, bringing in another one on the ground out, making a 9-run lead for the home side. Next inning, it's Sparta's David Fabry drawing a walk, wreaking havoc on the base paths as he scores on the pass ball. But Lacrosse post 52 holds on for victory, and this one taking down the boys from Sparta by a final of 17-5. How about one more packed night of action? Onalaska post 336 hosting Westby Coon Valley. Seth Kowalski at the dish, hits it where they aren't. Runners on the corners now for the home side, but the Westby defense is going to hold strong here. Kalen Rudy gathers the grounder. It's going to end the inning, still no score. Then it's the away side looking to get on the board. First, Ben Rathel skies one to right, but this ball is tracked down nicely by Kowalski, and more good defense coming in the bottom of the inning. Landon Hubert puts a barrel on it, but Devin Nedlin makes a nice running grab. Westby puts on their hitting shoes late in this one as they pick up the road victory 6-2. On the softball diamond tonight, same story for the Steam. Lacrosse having trouble in the circle. Steam gave up 18 runs last night. They give up 14 more tonight as Madison gets the win 14-6. Good thing for Lacrosse, though. Ladies will be back home tomorrow for 2 against the Nightmares. First pitch for game 1 is scheduled for 5:05. Brewers beginning a 7-game trip out west. Bats get going early in this one. Jake Bowers sends it to deep right, and that ain't coming back. 2-run shot makes it 2-0 Milwaukee, but the Angels respond in a big way. Zach Neto gets all of this one to left center. LA scores 5 unanswered to take a 5-2 lead. Bryce Terang got one back for the Crew in the 5th, but Milwaukee still trailing 5-3 in the 7th. Well, the NFL season is inching closer and closer by the day. We're less than 12 weeks away from the Packers season opener in Brazil the first week of September. And now we officially know when the Green and Gold plan on kicking off training camp. July 22nd is the date. That'll be the first of 8 open practices in 10 days to close out the month. The Pack will start August with an open practice on the 1st. Family night will take place on the 3rd, just a week before the team heads to Cleveland for week 1 of the NFL preseason against the Browns. Packers will have a joint practice with the Broncos before their week 2 matchup in Denver. Before you know it, week 1 of the regular season will be here. Packers in Brazil taking on the Eagles September 6th. What are the chances that Cade will get the little credential to go down there? You think Jason will be cool with that?
High chances, right? You got it right.
I mean, how many?
Didn't you?
I mean, how many times are the Packers going to be playing down in Brazil?
Come on, Jason, let him go. Let him go.
It's a little bit of a trip, but it's like watching history.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you ought to be there.
I think so too. Speaking of NBA, I know it doesn't really matter to the Bucks fans here. Celtics
Boston
get it
Celtics
done.
win,
18th championship.
Yeah.
Drew gets his second.
Yeah.
I'm coincidentally wearing Mavericks colors tonight too.
Oh,
I guess that didn't
luck,
work. Yeah, I know. I guess I was.
Next year, Bucks are going to get it. They're going to be healthy. I feel good about it.
I like that optimism.
2025.
All right, that's the Bucks year, huh?
Let's make it happen.
Okay. All right, we got more news after this.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment, so all the joints up the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Hip, knee, or back pain? See if Arch Supports can help you at the Good Feet store.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. And your Ford dealer is the place to start. With a full lineup of vehicles and available powertrains. Get your ideal combination of power and capability with gas, hybrid, or all electric. But more important than the power you choose is what you choose to do with it.
Now get financing as low as 1.9% for 66 months on Bronco Sport, Explorer, Edge, and Escape, only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
It's not very often a fella gets to offer the best products in the marketplace at a price lower than most others. When I look at this beautiful showroom, when I consider the quality of our products and the team of 80 exceptional professionals, we should be higher priced, but we're not. If you have any doubts for your next home improvement project, you should contact the Board Store today. It's not all the sales and discounts, it's the bottom line that counts, and you'll get no better bottom line than at the Board Store Home Improvements.
Hi folks, Harvey Wood of Wood Sales and Service here. American-made Landmaster UTVs are built from the ground up in Columbia City, Indiana. The Landmaster team takes pride in their work from start to finish, starting with raw steel made in the USA. Then they fabricate, bend, weld, powder coat, assemble, and test every UTV. Landmaster provides their customers with the toughest, most versatile UTV made. Check out our large selection of Landmaster UTVs at Wood Sales and Service, Black River Falls. Family owned and operated for 55 years. WoodSalesService.com.
A malfunctioning theme park ride turned the world upside down for a couple dozen guests when the rotating ride became stuck at its inverted apex.
The incident happened at Oaks Amusement Park in Portland, Oregon, and on opening day of the summer season. The giant 360-degree rotating atmosphere ride malfunctioned, suspending 28 people upside down for nearly half an hour. No sooner than rescue officials responded to the scene. Operators were able to return the ride to the ground where the passengers were unloaded safely.
Long half hour. No injuries were reported from the incident, and the park later released a statement saying the ride would be closed until an investigation on the malfunction could be completed. They say the topsy-turvy tumult was the first operational incident since the ride opened back in 2021.
Yeah, no, that is terrifying.
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right, we'll be right back with another look at your forecast after this.
Working with Maxwell White was amazing. They were professional, answered all of my questions.
I give Maxwell White my highest possible recommendation.
Maxwell White did a fabulous job on our shower. 5-star plumbing service done right.
I always knew that I wanted to be a mom, and choosing that it was the right time was just a really exciting moment. It turned out that my baby had a diagnosis that would be incompatible with life. It wasn't just that my baby wasn't going to survive, but I was at risk for hemorrhaging when I delivered. I met with my doctor and we went over the risks and benefits. I made a really informed decision, just like you would for any other procedure you're going to have. I'm a nurse, and I'm an example of a woman who had to have a procedure to be able to save my life and to not watch my baby die. And now Donald Trump supports laws that could take that procedure away across this country.
54 years they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it.
Without that procedure, I would not have been able to get pregnant again. But the good news is, a year later, I had my son. If Trump gets elected again, I fear for women.
ABPAC is responsible for the content of this ad. There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or get $3,500 purchase cash on select GMC Sierra models. Or get a total of $6,000 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Visit your Best Choice GMC dealer today. Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months, plus save up to $1,050.
Visit any of your local Johnson Tractor dealerships in Menominee, Baldwin, Osseo, and Arcadia.
Maxwell White celebrates servicing the La Crosse Coulee region for 30 years. Much has changed, but not our commitment to you, providing local, honest, and quality plumbing repairs and solutions. That's Maxwell White, plumbing done right.
All right, friendly reminder how hot the temperature can get inside of a car, so definitely check the back seat before you leave. Don't leave anything inside there because it will get very hot. We have showers, thunderstorms Tuesday night, cooling, but still wet conditions beyond Wednesday.
Drink water tomorrow, everybody.
I feel it now.
Stay hydrated.